to another Steel and Whiskey. I'm Michelle McCarthy, and today I have Dan Istvan with us.
Hi there.
Some of you may remember Dan from his time. Oh, you've been in the steel industry as long as I have.
Yeah, for over, it's got to be 2005 that we first started.
Yeah, that's when I started, and you were my first cold call.
I know, I remember that. I can't believe I still remember, but it's one of the first experiences I've is when I first started steel detailing, and I get a phone call from this girl. She's like, "I'm trying to sell you SDS2." I'm like, "What's SDS2? I've never even heard of it. Where you streak out here? What is this? What's going on here? I'm trying to get my job out." Yeah.
Oh, and it was my first cold call. My first cold call.
Yeah.
And I sucked, and you just handed it to me.
Did I? Oh, yeah. I don't know if I remember the particulars of it, but I do remember I was in a rush to get a job out. So it's just like, how quickly?
Wasting your time.
Yeah, how quickly can I get her off the phone? How much is this offer? I'll think about buying it.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to finally be working together after all these years in the steel industry.
I'm super excited. This is almost a dream come true because we've known each other for so long. We've competed against each other. We've worked together, especially after StreakAd was sold to Tekla, and then obviously we took over Strumis. So we were partners for a long time. Trying to break into industry. We had a lot of common customers. So it feels like it's all coming together. It's really cool, actually. Smaller world.
A conversation I was having today is like, you know what? The world takes you to where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers.
Right?
Absolutely.
So today we're both drinking Red Breast Irish whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
It's my new favorite.
No, it's so delicious. So good.
And I was talking to Kelsey because we're planning out the next SDS2 summit for next fall already.
So not this fall, but 2024.
So this fall will be in Omaha. Next fall, we're looking at, I don't want to spoil anything. So we're looking at a new location, but there's a whiskey distillery.
Oh.
That we could visit.
Oh, I'm into this.
And for the insiders, it was detail on SDS2.
Oh, even better.
So even better.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. They're going to be touring the sites, and they're going to take a tour of that distillery. Hopefully we'll be able to plan some events there.
Right.
Maybe we'll have a live steel and whiskey, right?
That'd be awesome. I love that.
Yeah. So we've got Dan here in the office. We're in person because Dan, where do you live?
Philly, right outside of Philly in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to be back in Lincoln. I feel like it's been a while since I've been in Lincoln. I don't even remember the last time I've been in here. But
it's been too long.
It's been too long because actually I have not seen. We had the inter office, so a lot of people obviously that's listening to this probably know the old office, which is like an epic spot. So I think that was the last time. So that must have been at least 2 years ago that I've been.
Oh yeah, we were in the interim space until we got into our new space. That's where we're at. We're in the recording studio
with an awesome black background.
Yes.
Yeah, this is lovely.
And happy to have the whole team from Philly here as we kind of look to kick off. I guess the next phase of the merge of ALLPLAN and SDS2. It was a year of kind of finding our way and feeling through things. Now we've got a good idea of who everyone is, what our strengths are. And so we're looking how we can merge the teams. And so one of the reasons that you're here with us in person, which I love, is to have a look at our entire customer experience, I would say.
Absolutely. The customer journey, right? Customer experience, customer journey. What do you as our customers go through from the point of initial contact where you find out about us, maybe find out about us from another customer. You go to our website, you interact with our marketing and sales team, and then you decide that, obviously SDS2 is an awesome steel detailing software, and you decide to invest. What is that experience like? What is those first steps of installing the software, licensing it, talking to our onboarding team and our support team. So really today was actually a great day for us because, for everyone from sales to marketing and product got to map the customer journey. So that way we can make that experience as smooth as possible. What I like to call a red carpet experience. It should be a great experience for our customers. So great discussions and great insights on how we can improve an already great process.
Yeah, I think what we're doing here, and historically we had lots of touch points with customers. So I'm not saying that was bad, but I think there's always room to do better. And I think what we're doing right now will put us on the path to making that experience better. I guess maybe more high touch with some of the customers, even if it's not a personal touch, even if it's just, hey, letting you know about, hey, we have these additional trainings or additional content to teach you how to do some of these things. These are the things that we've seen over the last couple of years that we've been missing, and there's an opportunity there, because one thing I know is SDS2 is a powerful product.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you just dip your toe in and you just buy SDS2, like you're getting in there and you're trying to just get the work done, right? Once you figure out how to get the work done, then the next step is figuring out how to get more efficient or how to do these extra things and how to do more of these things. And I think that's a place where we have some room for improvement.
Absolutely.
And communicating to our customers how we can do that, how we can teach them, and getting the right content out there for them. Training content, more training, different trainings. Maybe it's more of a workflow instead of just, hey, a basic SDS2 training. Maybe there's more workflow things that we can look at. Since the merge, you've been digging into what we do here at SDS2, what we've traditionally done, and looked at some of the different ways we can do it. What are your thoughts there?
So I think it all comes down to listening to our customers, really. Just spending a little bit more time understanding what they do, why they do it, and why it's important.
Mm-hmm.
And you touched upon a lot. It's going to be the content to help you make the best out of the software. I think an old saying was, and we always said it for most of the softwares in our industry, especially when you have high-powered engineering softwares, use 20% of it, 80% of it is just kind of out there. And we know it's there, but we do 20% to get our work done, to get the things in there, even if it's not as efficient as it could be.
Right.
So hopefully with us implementing a customer success team, it's giving you the insights, the best use practices to help you, even if you're only using that 20%, make that 20% even more efficient. So that way you're getting stuff faster, more accurate, the quality's higher, and you're just having an overall awesome experience with our tools and with our customer success team.
Yeah, and I think today more than ever, softwares are interconnected, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not just one single environment. If you're in one single environment, data gets stuck. So we have to make sure that we're cognizant of how do we help our customers get the data between the different places. Where does the data need to go? I think the other day, James Schwartz called the SDS2 model a data transportation model.
That makes sense, absolutely, because there's so much data that we're storing in there that can be used downstream, upstream, whatever it might be. But we need to be able to utilize that data in different aspects of the building process. So it makes complete sense.
So I'm gonna pick on, let's see, one thing that you know about SDS2 that is going to be a focus for, hey, how do we get some more training out there?
That's a great question, actually, because it's something that we've talked about a little bit today on, and it's funny or not, it's the basics. I think one of the big things that a couple of customers have reached out recently about is being able to quickly view attributes. I know I'm not getting the exact
status.
Yeah, the statusing. Yeah. Sorry, the statusing. So having a quick training session, or maybe a quick what we call learning management system. We're actually implementing a learning management system, which allows you as a user to quickly have access to on-demand training on best use or best in class, best practices. Best practice.
There you go.
My goodness.
It's been a long day.
Oh, the long.
To be fair, you've been up since 3 a.m. because that's what time you had to get up to fly here.
Yeah, and this red breast is definitely catching up to us real fast. So best practices is going to be a key to it. So it's really getting into. It's actually, we don't want to overcomplicate it and get into the high detail stuff. Sometimes the simplest stuff is missed, and that's what we've kind of identified today in the meeting. Is let's make sure that our users are aware of some of these simple tools that are used constantly by our power users that you could be using day in, day out to make your life a lot easier.
Right. First of all, I think of a few different things that we try to make sure customers are aware of, like the getting started videos.
Yeah.
If you're brand new to SDS2, here's some getting started videos. You don't have to go through every minute of the online training to at least say, hey, okay, here's how you just put in a grid line. Here's how you put in a beam. Here's how you put in a column. The online training course that we have free online right now is actually about 36 hours of content.
Yeah, that's a lot to digest.
That's a lot to digest. So there's some people that I know aren't quite ready to just jump in, or maybe they're on a trial and they just want to check it out. Those are a good resource that we have right now. The technical, what do they call it? Technical support site that we've redone on SDS2 is a lot more searchable. And they're doing some improvements there to make that more searchable, to find, like, and type in, how do I add a beam? And it'll bring up those types of things. But one of the things I thought was really useful, even just with the transition to our new user interface, is we did some things like the icon guide.
Right.
Icons change, right? We're trying to streamline it, make it be a more consistent workflow for customers that are new to SDS2, easier to learn. It looks more like other products they may have been already experienced. But our other customers, okay, I remember that red one, and I don't remember what it is. Right. So we've got a key on the website there that you can go look and translate them, or using the quick search tool in SDS2 is another way to do that, which is super easy. But, like, those are just the starting points, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The whole point of implementing a learning management studio system is to ensure that we do bite-sized training,
right?
And that is focused. So we're not looking at 36 hours all at once. Let me focus in on the stuff that I want to, accomplish today,
right?
And have it be intelligent enough to kind of, based on the persona. Let's say I'm a miscellaneous steel detailer. I just want to have a quick course guide of just the miscellaneous stuff. So I don't need all the other stuff that's in the 36 hours. Just the stuff that's important for me as a miscellaneous steel detailer. So basically, being able to give you the stuff that you need in bite-sized training sizes, I think is going to be key.
Yeah. And I think too, with rethinking that kind of methodology for how we bring training to our customers, what it allows us to do is also bring more, right?
Yeah.
And as we bring out new features, like I could see with the new finishes tool that we have in SDS2 2023, I could see that being really useful to just have a training video there that you can go to the LMS. Hey, here's the new features, and you've got a whole list of here's the new features, here's how to use them, and it gives you that insight.
Absolutely, because sometimes, especially all software vendors do this, is got a list of all new features, you write it down, you see it, but how do I actually use it as a user? Like, how, what are the benefits? Where are the problems that we're solving with it? So the LMS is definitely going to be something that will basically go down into a little bit of the weeds, so that way we know how to use it, what the best practices are. So you're making the best out of the new tools that are coming out.
I remember there was a customer we had quite a while ago. The guy had gone through the training, and the way we had done the training at the time, it was just everything. Here's all that you need to know about 3D.
Right.
Here's all you need to know about 2D. But while that taught you the button clicks and the things to do, it didn't give you the conceptual of, okay, I'm in the model, I'm creating my columns, I'm putting in my base plates. Now I can get out an anchor bolt plan or the schedule.
Anchor bolt plan.
Okay.
You could do the schedule, or be the base plate schedule. Right?
Base plate schedule. See,
yeah,
I've been out of it a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But, like, when I heard that feedback from the customer at Cliff, it's like, oh, we're not training the workflow. We're training button clicks on the software. We can do better if we're training workflows, right? How people are using it in the way they're using it.
Yeah, and I think the strength that we have in our customer success team, almost all of our customer success members are ex-users, right? So they've actually been detailers. They've been through the hustle. They've actually done it day in, day out.
Right.
So they can focus, let's not focus on button clicking, like you said. All the trainings are focused on the workflows of what we need to achieve. And ultimately, the things that we need to achieve are the deliverables. How quickly and efficiently and effectively can we get to the deliverables? The first one out of any steel project is going to be an anchor bolt plan, right? That's the first thing that goes out. How quickly can we get to it? Or where the best practices is key to make sure that you become successful.
Right. And so I think looking at the way we train, the other part to consider is we've got adult learners, right? It's just another thing that supports that bite-sized training, right? No one has 36 hours in a week to sit down. That's obviously if you can afford to do that, that's the best way to learn it, right? We still offer the in-person training. People can come to Lincoln and we will train you and have you not distracted by anything else, but just sit here and learn. Reality is life doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's not realistic anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not realistic anymore. We love to have people come here to the office because that also gives them the opportunity to meet people in support, meet people on the sales team, meet people on the development team. Like, they meet our team and get to know who to contact and have that interaction, or maybe talk deeper about something that you wouldn't
Yeah.
get by doing an online training. However, everything is done remotely anymore, it seems like, or at least that option needs to be there. That LMS, I think, will solve some of that.
Absolutely. So it's something that we've at ALLPLAN we've been doing for about 4 years now. So to a certain degree, COVID forced us into it, right? Because we had to do something to help our customers that are buying during that period that couldn't travel. How can they learn a software and do it? So it kind of forced us into that methodology. But the workflow is just at your own pace. So it's the learning management system is on-demand training at your own pace with live instructor training based on the cadence that you do. So depending on what are your weeks looking like, we work with you, we consult with you. If you have 2 hours a week to spare on training, then you have 2 hours with our live instructor, and then we set up your schedule, your implementation plan accordingly to maybe 12 weeks of 1 or 2 hour slots once a week. It's based on it's on demand, and it's customizable based on your routine and your you defining a cadence basically, which has worked awesome because people still have to get things out the door.
Right.
Money still has to be made. Deliverables, which are still drawings or models, still need to be pushed out. So it works. Works wonderfully during that transition period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to getting us there. The challenge is, okay, there's a lot of content that we need. There's a lot of things we can build out, and doing it like that isn't reality. So the time that we'll put into this, I think, is going to be significant to build this up. And,
Absolutely.
And once we get at least a good library of training content and new training courses, then we can start to build on and add that value and help build more maybe power users, if you want to call them that.
Absolutely. It is power users, because that's our goal, is to create as many SDS2 power users as possible out there. If you're a power user, that means you're using the software to the best or the most efficient way,
right?
Which means you're making more money ultimately, because you can either handle more projects, and do them quicker, or same amount of projects, but then you have time to do side stuff like worrying about 3 kids or whatever you have, everything else. So
we way back when, I think it was during COVID, we were looking for ways to put out a power user badge for SDS2.
Yeah.
Then a lot of stuff happened. We merged
a lot of things. Yeah.
A lot of things happened. How would you kind of defined what a power user is, right? But how would you go about saying, here's how you prove you're a power user?
That's a great question. Ultimately, I think most of these things, like if we look at, how do you prove your P, right? How do you prove your SE, or, how do you prove your PMP if you get a certification? It's almost like a certification process that has to go through it. So it's really, almost implementing the same thing where we go through X amount of training with live users, and there's got to be some sort of a test, some sort of a certification period at the end that that takes you to that level. So actually, that might be a great idea.
It would be a really cool thing to finally, like, this has been a thing that I wanted to do and haven't gotten it over the finish line yet. And I think this would be something that'd be like the cherry on the top, right?
Oh, that'd be awesome, actually. Yeah. I love that idea.
I think our customers would like it too. They've been asking since we said, hey, we're gonna start doing this. So
the great thing, the platform that we're using, the LMS platform, kind of helps do that. So we can have certifications that come in based on what you've done. So we can basically create certifications right on the back of it.
Right. And I think that adds a value to our customers that to this point we haven't been able to get enough of or give enough of, that I hope that we can build out here over the next couple of years. I would always love faster, but being realistic, there's a lot of content to create, and to get that up there, I don't want to set expectations that would be like, oh, you'll have it tomorrow, right?
Yeah. It's going to take time, but I think it's something that we should aim for.
Yeah.
And especially if our customer base is asking for it, and it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely makes sense.
So, we just jumped right in, but we talked about how, we knew each other and you were in Steel.
I was like, where do we just jump into?
We just jumped right into talking about customer experience and learning and training people on SDS2. How did we get here? You were detailing, I was selling detailing software. Now we're both working for ALLPLAN.
Yeah.
Like, that's a journey, right?
It's a long journey. Yeah. That's why I have gray hairs, I think.
That's why I cover mine up. Actually, I'm not sure if redheads actually go gray. I might.
Actually, I was gonna ask you the same thing. I was like, is that rude? Should I ask you?
Here's a deep fear.
Yeah.
What if I go pink? Like, what if it's just white and red and I go pink?
But that's part of your color wheel, though.
You're right. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But like, how cool is it having been gone from a steel detailer
Yeah.
to working for AceCAD at the time,
Yeah.
selling StruCAD, selling StruMist too, right?
Yeah. Both. Yeah.
StruCAD sells, you're selling StruMist. We're collaborating at that point. And then where did your journey go from there? Tell some of our customers about you.
Yeah, so after StruMist, I got recruited to go to Aviva, which is more of an industrial software provider. So they work very heavily in the ONG nuclear space. They have a very similar product to SDS2 and Tekla and StruCAD called BoCAD. So it really just kind of amplifying globally the BoCAD product. So it's another steel detailing product. So that was a great experience, mainly because it helped me. Traditionally I worked in the AEC market, so really building school. Most of the detailing I've ever done is schools, buildings, maybe some a little bit of bridge work and miscellaneous stuff. But then I got to work on pipe racks, big time, nuclear type of work, or at least work with customers that did that. So it's just it's a change of pace. It's a different world. It's a different atmosphere, but you get to see a lot of things are different, but a lot of things are the same. But it just really made me see, how big construction is, right?
Right.
You don't realize your little bubble, you're a steel detailer in this little bubble doing, maybe additions to, cars, car shops or whatever it might be. And then all of a sudden working on a nuclear power plant, so it's just a different change of pace. And you get to realize what that's like. And then from Aviva, I got recruited to ALLPLAN. Basically, ALLPLAN is I'm hoping our users here or our audience knows about ALLPLAN, but it's a very strong software company in the DACH region, the German Western European region, that really focuses on concrete and precast. Which, when we're working on steel detailing, we kind of know that anchor bolt plans are where we start, so we know obviously we connect to concrete somewhere here and there. Sometimes there might be some walls that we need to put in some plates in for, or maybe where the joists come in. So we work a little bit on it, but now actually getting the insights on how are these precast panels built, what the manufacturing process is. So that's what ALLPLAN kind of brought to my experience, is really understanding the precast and also the cast in place world, which is another, a whole other beast in itself in the construction industry, which has been awesome. It's been such a great learning experience. And now it's all circling back into getting back into steel detailing for SDS2 and steel.
Which I love. Think about how much experience, how much knowledge that adds to the team, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna say you've seen it all, but you've seen a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's so much to learn. It's just funny, I've never knew construction was so deep until you really get into it. Now, it's man, there's a lot going on, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What I feel like from my experience merging with ALLPLAN is learning the concrete side more, and learning. Okay, precast, that makes sense to me.
Precast and steel fabrication
is very, very similar.
Very similar. So it's just the same concept. Right? Let's not forget, all concrete and precast has steel in it. So steel is still the best. Let's not kid ourselves. It's still what I started with. It's it's my baby. Obviously, it's great to learn about other industries, and we still need to interact with other industries. Most construction projects right now are multi-material. So we're I'm sure most of our users are dealing with precast walls, maybe they're dealing with cast in place. So you're dealing with all those other industries.
And if anything, you're matching up the embeds and the precast walls so that your data center goes together, or whatever it may be, right?
Absolutely.
Now it's your battery plant.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's something that combining the two products or combining the two things makes sense, because everything's multi-material. Yeah. I think the only thing that's missing now is wood.
And hopefully we've got a PM team looking at how do we get part of that too.
I think we do some of that.
You can fake it right now.
Not really faking it. It's in there.
It's cheating.
Yeah.
You can do it. I'm trying to think there was demo I did once back when I was doing demos.
Oh boy.
It was a stair demo.
Did you ever do a demo for me? Did I
No,
actually?
you told me to.
I cut you off. I do a demo?
A demo for you. You were missing out.
Yeah, no.
It would have been rough because when I first started, I still to this day remember the very first sale, the very first demo I went to do.
Or do you remember a customer?
Oh yeah, it was LVJ.
Okay.
They have now transitioned. They're AARK. Louisiana. These people are near and dear to my heart.
That's awesome.
I love these guys. And we went there. Doug's like, hey, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to show you the ropes, but you have to do everything. So first of all, it's like, you need to get the hotel, line up the whole trip. You're going to book everything. At that point, we're using a travel agent. Now, and at that point, I was 23. And so I was like, okay, Doug, what kind of hotel am I allowed to book? He's like, oh, like a Holiday Inn or whatever. Okay. Where should I book it? Closest you can get to to their office. Okay. So I looked up on the map, on Google, like, I don't even know.
Or maybe it might have been MapQuest by then. We're old. I don't know. It might have been MapQuest back then.
I know I was still at like the point, like when we were driving places, I was printing out paper sheets.
Yeah.
Trying to drive with that in the dark, like good luck.
Oh,
but
God, I remember those days.
So I booked this hotel. I booked this Holiday Inn as close to their office as I could get. We show up there, get our room keys, which were keys.
Yeah.
Like actual turn the key lock.
Keys, yeah.
It was a holodome. And Doug's like, what did you do? I'm like, I followed your instructions.
To the T.
Like, why were you so vague? You didn't say no holodomes. Here we are. And so we went. I got a lot of hell for that.
Yeah.
We went over to their office. We did the demo. And in the demo, and I mean, I think I started in February. This is like maybe July. And we're doing the demo, and I had practiced and practiced and practiced. I was killing it, doing really good, right? And I think it was Gus that asked me, he's like, hey, how long do you think it would take to put in like a 3-ton project? And I was just like, you know what? This is when I learned a very important lesson. It's like, I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks. And they laughed. And it was like, oh, honey, like a column could be 3 tons. And that's when I learned, like, if you don't know, you ask.
Yeah.
Just, if you don't know, say you don't know.
Yeah.
And ask.
That's a great question. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What does those 3 tons look like?
Yeah.
Oh, easy. 1 column.
Yeah.
Totally would have shut them down. And they got me.
Yeah.
But we left with a check.
I was gonna say that created a great experience.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It was worth it.
Andrea and Christy, Andrea and Christy.
Yeah.
Are still working there today.
That's awesome. That's
they were just, I just saw them last year in San Antonio at the summit, and like they're just
dear to your heart. Yeah.
Dear to my heart.
Yeah.
I love these guys. So like those are the connections that are so cool that you get to make in the steel industry. And that's why I love it. That's why I still remember our first phone call.
I know. It's the steel industry is like nothing else, you know, in that sense of like just quality people, you know, just hardworking people that, you know, have such nice, you know, very welcoming. Every demo I've ever been to has been a welcoming demo. Yeah. Every opportunity I've ever had is there's never been a negativity about it. Even if we got the sale or didn't get the sale, it's always been a great experience. So I'm glad to be back in steel. I'll tell you that.
We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
And we're glad to have you on our team.
I'm really happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. That seems like a great point to sign off.
I know. I feel like I've been drinking a little too much.
It's like who's been doing all the talking?
I know. Have you been carrying this conversation?
No.
I feel like I've been talking.
I think you've been talking. I've been sipping.
Have you been sipping? I've been drinking.
It's a trick.
I thought this was drinking.
It is drinking.
Yeah. We're not supposed to drink.
Oh. All right.
See it off. I don't know.
All right. We'll see you guys next time on another Steel and Whiskey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.